Flood. I'm the offensive line coach here at Rutgers University. I'm going to take you through our run and pass blocking progressions as they appear on your HSPD practice schedule. A couple things to keep in mind before we get started. Every block at Rutgers run and pass, we break down into three phases: approach, contact, and follow through. And then as we teach those three phases, we try to teach them all from the feet up. So feet through the ankles, knees, hips, to the upper body posture, and then to the hands, eyes, etc. But we do try and start with the feet and work our way up the body so that we don't leave anything out, and it's a systematic way for the players to learn what we're trying to do. So we'll start here with stance, and I'll bring Howard on the film here, and Howard's going to be the first guy up. And you'll see we try and keep our players in the same routine every time when they get in a stance. We want them to set their feet, forearms on their thighs, hand down, eyes up. All right, so here we go. I'll bring this up slowly, and you'll see Howard is going to set his feet. Now, our guards and tackles play with a toe instep stagger. So you see him bring his left toe to his right instep. Howard's a left guard, left tackle, so we want his outside foot, his left foot, at the instep of his inside foot, his right foot. So you see him set his feet. Now, the width of the feet should be slightly wider than the hips. We don't want them directly under the hips, but we don't want them real wide either, because if they get too wide, then they can't take a good first step. Now, their inside foot, we want to be as vertical as possible. So his right foot, we want to be as vertical as it can be, and his left foot, we allow him to turn that slightly to the outside. So you see him turn it right there, slightly to the outside. So that's what we call setting our feet. Then we put our forearms on our thighs, and then we put our hand down. Our left side linemen put their left hand down. Our right side linemen put their right hand down. I think that's critical for pass protection. And we want that hand to go down slightly inside of the foot to that side. So the left hand goes down slightly inside the left foot, and the right hand would go down slightly inside the right foot. So that is how we get our guys into a stance, and you can see it there from the frontal shot. And we're going to give you a side view here of the same thing. I'll keep going here as Howard gets into the stance. Set your feet, forearms on your thighs, hand down, eyes up. And we want to, I tell the players, you don't need to be comfortable in your stance. You don't need to be uncomfortable in your stance. You want to be coiled in your stance. So here's Big Mike, again, another left side lineman. Here's Jeremy, our right side lineman. We'd like Jeremy to have all 5 fingers on the ground. We don't really want him to have 3 fingers on the ground like he did here. We don't put any weight on our hand. That's more a function of what we do in our run blocking here at Rutgers. If you were going to go straight ahead off the ball, you could put some weight on the hand. But I think if you need the ability to step left or right, then you don't want to have too much weight on your hand because you won't be able to do it. You'll fall forward out of your stance. Here comes Jeremy again. He's a right-sided lineman, right tackle, right guard guy. So you notice his right foot is back, toe in, step stagger, feet slightly wider than the hips. Again, he's almost got all 5 fingers on the ground. We would like to have all 5 fingers on the ground. And then the last thing I'll tell you is that we take the offhand and we want to put the forearm on the outside of the knee. Okay, our centers and tight ends play with a balanced stance, meaning there is no stagger. So here's Ryan, he's a center, and we use the line as a gauge in front of him, and you'll notice that both of his toes are on the line. Now we do allow the centers and tight ends to turn both of their feet slightly out. And what that does, is it puts the weight on your insteps and will allow you to push in either direction. Okay, you notice Ryan simulating a ball, even though he doesn't have one. And again, the offhand goes outside of the knee. Now that we've talked about stance, we're going to get into our footwork drills or our step drills. And you'll notice how we have the drills set up here. We've got all the right guards and right tackles in this first line. In the center line are going to be the centers and the tight ends because they're the ones who play with balanced stances. And then in the line all the way to the right are going to be our left guards and left tackles. So we line them up like this. This is a good way to do it if you've got big numbers at the camp. You'll notice that we're going to take a step to the right, so everybody is going to have their right foot on the line. And that is to make sure that as they take their first step, whether it's a lateral step, whether it's a lead step, that step is going to have width. We want our stance to be coiled, so we need to uncoil with our first step, and that's the first step in the process to generating power towards the defender. All right, so I'm going to move this forward slowly just so we can talk about it. Now, again, our players are going to take a little bit of a lateral step. Your players might take a little bit of a lead step, but the drill is the same. First part of the drill is the one-step part of the drill. what I'm looking to see with their first step is with the first step, I want to see them land their instep. And when I say land their instep, what I mean by that is the right knee stays inside the right ankle. We call that bracing at Rutgers. So they take that first step, I want to see them brace on their right foot so that the right knee stays inside the right ankle. The reason for this, by bracing on your right foot, you can go forward on your left foot. If that right knee rotates out, you're not going to be able to generate your power going forward. As we work our way up the body, I want to see their chest lunge out over their thighs, and I want to see them pull their elbows to their ribs. So that's not bad by the first guy in line here. His elbows are a little bit wide, but he did a pretty good job of bracing with that right foot. And so we'll move this forward here to the middle line. Okay, we get to the middle line here. Again, no different. Everybody's taking one step to the right. I'm going to move it forward slowly. Pretty good job by the first two guys in line of bracing. Not a great job by the second guy of getting width. Right? He's got his knee inside his ankle, but he didn't get any width. Pad level's pretty good, and elbows are pretty tight, so that's not too bad. We need a little more width by the second guy. Then we get over here to the third group. Again, everybody's going to the right. We don't get a great shot of it, so we're going to keep moving here. All right, we come back, and we're going to do it again. One step to the right. Again, we want to see width off the line, right knee inside the right ankle, elbows on the ribs, a little bit better by the first guy here, keeping everything tight to the body. The tighter your elbows are to your ribs, the more likely you are to hit the target you're trying to hit. Okay, we go to the middle. Again, pretty good job. I want to see the knee inside the ankle. Then we come over here to the left. We want to see width. Really good example here by the first guy in line. Nice step, good width. Knee inside the ankle, elbows on the ribs, chest over thigh. That's pretty good by that first guy in line right there. All right, then we come back and we do it to the left. So it's one step to the right. We went one step to the right again, then we went one step to the left. Again, you may want to do it one time or two times. Again, here we did it twice each way. This is the first day. You know, as you progress through the week, maybe you only do it one time to get to the four-step part of the drill. Right? One-step brace. Again, I'll pause it here just to point out the first guy in line. You can see the angles in his legs. Right? Nice step, left knee inside of the left ankle. That means that he's bracing. That means that he's got the weight on the inside part of his shoe, and he's going to be able to generate his power going forward. If that left knee rotates out, you're going to have problems generating your power going forward. So that's the one step. We want to see that first step, body posture. Now we're going to go 4 steps. And what we want to see is bracing off the first step. I'm going to do it in slow motion here. First slow, right? Elbows to the ribs, chest over thigh. And then the second step, and every step after that, is heel replaces toe. And you see they should rise slowly as they go through the drill. They shouldn't be up straight ahead. This is a great shot of the first guy in line here. Notice him brace, right knee inside the right ankle, and heel replaces toe going forward. That's pretty good. Raising up slowly as you go through the block. Again, the first guy in line here, really nice job. Bracing and then getting that second step in the ground. Heel replaces toe. Four steps to the right again. This is a good way to set up the drill when you got big numbers. Moving to the left, so we put our left foot on the line. Again, it's 1 step, 4 steps. 1 step, 4 steps. Raising slowly as you go through the 4 steps. This first guy in line here is a really good example. I'll just show that to you one more time. Again, you see how tight his elbows are to his ribs. One more time here with the 4 steps. The next kind of step you're going to see here in a second. Okay, now we're back to the beginning again. So we went through our lateral steps. Again, for you, that might be a lead step. And now we're going to work on our reach steps. Some people call them bucket steps or drop steps. And what that means is we're going to take 1 step to the right, and when our foot lands on the instep, we want that foot to land so that the right toe is at the depth of the left heel. So I'll show you what it looks like here in slow motion. We want to see the foot come off the line and drop toe to heel. This is a way to open up our hips and block a little bit of a wider defender. Notice the first guy in line did a good job of keeping his right knee inside his right ankle. The second guy in line did not. And that is what you're looking for in this drill. You want to make sure that when they land that foot, that they land it with the knee inside the ankle. Middle line, good by the center. Not enough width by the guy second in line. Okay, pretty good here. Again, raising up a little too high. Now we're going to go to the left. Okay, excellent job here by the first guy in line. Not a little bit better by the second guy in line, landing that knee inside the ankle. What you're telling the players is to land their instep, but what you're looking for as a coach is to see if the knee stays inside the ankle. And again, I'll bring this one back. Here's a great example. Watch the second guy in line right here. As he lands his foot, his knee goes out. The first guy, when he lands his foot, his knee stays in. The first guy in line landed his instep. The second guy in line landed with a flat foot. The problem with that is with the second guy in line is that when you land flat-footed, you can't generate your power going forward. And then we come back and we do 4 steps. There we go. Open again, driving off the line. Put that foot in the direction they're moving, in this case the right foot. Put it right on the line. Make them drive off of a line if you can. You want to see them driving for width. Here's a really nice job here by the first 2 guys in line. Opening their hips to the right. Then we go left. All those drills leading up to now dealt with the approach and the contact phases of blocking. Now we're going to start working on the follow-through. And here's the first drill we use to train follow-through. It's called fit and walk. We're going to fit our players into the defender. Now when we do that, what we want are feet outside the hips, knees inside the ankles, knees over toes, chest out, butt out. That's the body posture that we're looking for. Again, with our hands are on the defender, elbows tight to the body, thumbs up, and we're going to press forward, walking the defender straight back. When we do this without a shield, it's critical that the guy on defense puts his hands on the offensive player's shoulders. So you notice him driving off both feet, and then he steps. And every step he takes should be heel replaces toe. Everything he does with his body should be in a lifting motion. Lift the defender, don't push the defender. When you push a defender, you get overextended and you end up on the ground. You want to lift the defender, that'll keep your feet underneath you. Lift. Pretty good job here. Lift the defender up. Nice job there by that last guy, finishing with his hands high. That's good. You're not straightening your arms, you're just lifting like a forklift. After that drill, we go to fit and weave. Now the defender's got 1 yard on either side to work back and forth to force the offensive player to stay with him. The biggest mistake that some of the younger players make when they do this drill is they get so worried about staying with the defender that they stop pressing their feet forward. The key to the drill is to stay with the defender while continuing to press forward with your feet. Heel replaces toe every time. Same starting point, feet outside the hips, knees inside the ankles, knees over toes, chest out, butt out. We still want a lifting motion with the hands and arms. We don't want to push, we want to lift. And then it's up to the feet to stay with the defender. If you do this drill with a lot of groups, tell the defenders it's their job to control the drill so that they don't run into each other. Okay, a little slow on the trigger here. Again, right now he should be pressing forward. See him here? Here's an example of a guy who's trying to stay with him and he's not pressing forward. You see his hands come outside the framework of his body. That generally will lead to holding calls, and then he catches up to it here in a little bit, but that one didn't start too good. So we go to those drills, fit and walk, fit and weave, and then we get to putting the whole package together. And we start with the drive block. You'll notice what Jeremy does right here. He sticks his right arm out. When you're doing drills like this, I think that's critical because that gives you your neutral zone. It's tough to train the right habits if the defenders are right up on you and you don't have a neutral zone. So Jeremy sticks his arm out here. That gives you at least a simulation of a neutral zone. Then he's going to get down in his stance, and we'll go through the drive block here. Okay, on our drive block, we're going to take a slight lead step with our right foot. What that means is that step will get width, and it'll be less than heel replaces toe. It is going to be a really short step. Our target is going to be right down the midline of the defender. So I'm going to slow this down right to the first step, and you'll see what Jeremy does here. You see that slight lead with the right foot, pulls his elbows to his ribs, and then as he lands that foot, you see his hands are starting to come forward. So it's a slight lead with the right foot, less than heel replaces toe. The width is whatever amount of width you need to get to the midline of the defender. Now our second step and every step thereafter is heel replaces toe. Really what happens here after contact is it becomes fit and walk or fit and weave. Now here you're going to see it from the side, and we'll slow it down again. Again, you see he's created a good neutral zone, so we have a legitimate drill going on here. You see the slight lead with the right foot, elbows to the ribs, hands to the defender, strike and lift. Every step after the first step is heel replaces toe. Driving off the insteps. Driving off the insteps. I'm going to let this one play one time in real speed in case you want to use your remote in your office. Okay, here's Big Mike. Drive block to the right, same idea. Slight lead with the right foot. Midline target. Elbows to the ribs. Hands strike the defender. Again, the arm should move in a whipping motion. Second step, heel replaces toe. And every step after that is heel replaces toe. Lifting the defender after contact. Here it is from the side. I'll show it to you in slow motion. Lift. I would like to see him squeeze his elbows a little bit more together and continue to lift. Drive block to the left. A little short on the target here. His hat's a little bit inside. You don't want to be inside out on the defender. We'd like to be on the midline. Some people go a little wider than the midline, but we like to be right on the midline for these drive blocks. The next block we're going to talk about is a reach block. And there are some similarities to the drive block, but I'll tell you what the subtle differences are. The first difference is we're going to take a outside number target instead of a midline target. So we're going to need to move our body a little bit wider. Other than the target, everything else to contact is the same. After contact, though, instead of just driving the defender forward and pressing vertical, we want to work to clear our hips through the play side gap. So Jeremy's going to be up first here. He's a right guard, right tackle. He's got a defender shaded on his outside shoulder. Now you're going to see Jeremy here takes his first step. Nice job of bracing, right? Now this is our reach step or drop step or bucket step, whatever you call it at your school. But you'll notice it opens his hips up so that he can put his nose or align his nose on the play side number. Now his elbows are on his ribs. His second step should be heel replaces toe. And then after contact, he wants to work to clear his hips through the play side gap. So that's a pretty good job. I'm going to let this one run in real time so you can see it and you can work with it back in your office. Okay, here's Mike. Now Mike's going to execute a reach block to the left. Same idea. We're going to take what we call a reach step. You might call it a bucket step or a drop step. But the reason for that step is to open our hips up to the left and align our nose on the outside number. Pretty good job of bracing the left knee inside the left ankle so that he can generate his power going forward. Pretty good job of whipping the arms, elbows on the ribs, and then clear your hips. So again, we've got a drive block with a midline target pressing forward after contact. We've got a reach block with an outside number target clearing our hips after contact. So that's the subtle differences between the two blocks. Here's Desmond. That's a pretty good job right there. Okay, I got a couple shots on here. I don't know if you're going to have the ability to separate the centers in the camp, if you'll have enough coaches, but if you do, our centers don't really get taught reach blocks. We teach our centers to drop and rip. And the reason for that is if we're asking the center to reach the defender, generally it's for an outside or a wider play. And if he can just drop and rip and get his hips on the other side of the defender, even if there's a little bit of penetration, the ball is outside enough that it does not affect the play. So you see Ryan here as a center almost opens his hips entirely to the sideline, and we tell him with your second step, try and step right across the feet of the defender. So it's a long second step, again, because we're not worried about a little bit of push into the backfield. We just want to leverage the block as quickly as we can. And then if we can get our hips in there, we lean back into the defenders. That's a pretty good job. Hard to simulate. Again, I don't know if you'll have the ability to separate the centers and work with these guys, but it's something we do, so we put it on the tape. Here's Caleb. Again, he opens to the sideline. Nice job of opening his hips. And again, second step across the defender. That's a pretty good job. Again, there's going to be a little bit of push, but the leverage is more important than the push if we're asking our centers to do this. Now that we've worked through the drive block and the reach block, we're going to move into double teams. The tackles and tight ends are going to go work together, and Coach Susan addressed that and what they're going to do. And right here, we're going to talk about center guard double teams. The first thing we want to do is fit the players into the double team. We want to give them the idea of moving the first level first and not coming off the double team until the helmet of the linebacker crosses the helmet of the down lineman. And what you'll see here is this double team moving to the right. The offensive lineman on the right will be the lifter when we go through the whole process here in a couple minutes. But he is the lifter, and he's in the double team. And then the backside lineman is what we call the driver. Okay, and he's driving his helmet across the chest of the down lineman. And you'll notice the lead lineman or the lifter is going to stay on there until the helmet of that linebacker crosses, and then he comes off. And then a subtle point, but a key point, is when you come off the double team, you come off at an angle. You'll notice that he comes off to the right and then again puts his nose on the play side number of the linebacker to cover him up. So that's a pretty good job right here. Again, this is just a fit drill to start the teaching of the double team. Here's another one to the right. Again, the lineman on the right is the lifter. The lineman on the left is the driver. Again, they're pushing through the first level to the second level. And then when they come off at the second level, you want to see them helmet adjust, just like this lineman does right here. Jeremy does a nice job. Puts his nose or aligns his nose on the play side number of the linebacker. Now we're going to go to the left. Lineman on the left is the lifter. Lineman on the right is the driver. Helmets cross. That's when you come off. Helmet adjust. Move your feet through contact. One more time going to the left here. Again, think of this as a center on the right and a left guard on the left. Okay, one more time, fit in here to the right. Center and a right guard. Right guard is the lifter. The center is the driver. And again, a nice job by the guard of helmet adjusting when the linebacker comes over the top. Okay, now, the next step in the progression is to do it from a stance. This is a center and a left guard. The left guard is going to execute a reach block. The only difference being now he has help from the center behind him. So you're going to see him reach this down lineman, and then the center is going to open his hips up and drive his helmet or the right ear hole of his helmet across the chest of the defender. Think of this as a center guard double team to the left on some type of outside zone play. So this is a nice job of the center overtaking the down lineman. Again, we want to hang on that. If you're the left guard, you want to hang on this double team until the linebacker's helmet crosses over the top, and then they come off. All right, here is a center and a right guard. Now the center is the lifter. The right guard is the driver. And we want to stay on that double team until the linebacker comes over the top. When the linebacker comes over the top, right at this point here, we want to see the guard helmet adjust and move his feet through contact. The play's going to the left. The lifter always steps with his play side foot first. So in this case, again, a center and a right guard. Center is the lifter. He moves his left foot first, forward on the second step. He'll replace his toe. And then he's staying on the double team until the helmets cross, and then he comes off with the helmet adjust. Same scenario now, center and a left guard. Double team's moving to the right. Here comes the center. Steps with his play side foot to the right here. We call that a tough step. Tough step, lift. Stay on it till the helmets cross. And then helmet adjust on the second level. He could be a little bit flatter coming off the double team. The driver, which is the left guard in this double team, is working across the chest of the down lineman. Okay, one more time going to the left. A little different scenario now. The scenario we just looked at, the linebacker was behind the down lineman. Now we have a linebacker in front of the down lineman, which means we're going to have to come off the double team a little bit quicker and with a little bit flatter angle. Double team still moving to the left. Still want to move our left foot first if I'm the center. And the right guard is still going to work he's going to still work his helmet across the chest of the down lineman. Here's the left guard. I should say, here's the center. Tough step, lift. Tough step, lift, go. Tough step, lift, go. And then the right guard works across the chest of the down lineman. Nice angle coming out of there flat. Same scenario going to the right. Center and a left guard. The center's going to tough step and lift. And because the linebacker's already over the top, we got to come off flat. Nice job. The reason for coming off flat, again, think of this as a center and a left guard. The reason for coming off flat is to take away the run-through lane for the linebacker. You got to get your hat in front to stop the penetration of that linebacker. Now we got a stacked linebacker, center and a right guard. As the center steps to his left, the down lineman slants in the direction of the play. At that point, we want to helmet adjust and run our feet. So again, this is a center and a right guard, double team moving to the left. The center steps with his left foot. The down lineman's coming with him. We helmet adjust and run our feet. Again, you got to helmet adjust to stop the penetration of that down lineman. And then the right guard, as he opens his hips, he's working across that down lineman. The down lineman goes away. As that down lineman goes away, you want to come right off his hip, climbing to the second level. You never want to chase somebody who's running away from you. That's the key coaching point for the right guard. You step to double team that down lineman. He moves away from you. Get your eyes up to the second level. Don't chase something moving away from you. Pretty good job here on the movement. Same scenario here, center and a right guard. Going to move, double team moving to the left. Left foot first. Could have been a little bit wider step by the center in this picture. But as that down lineman comes with him, helmet adjust and run your feet. And by helmet adjust, we mean drop your hat in front of the defender. That stops the penetration. Here's some shots of some other double teams in a half-line drill that we do with the D-line. Here's a center guard double team. You see a nice job here by the center. Double team moving to the left. Tough step, lift. You see the right guard working to overtake the double team. We overlap our double teams so that we don't get split by the down lineman. The left guard in this picture is executing a reach block, working to clear his hips through the play side gap. Here's another shot. Nice job by the center. Tough step, lift. Right guard working across his chest. Nice job by the left guard on the reach block. Clear your hips. Nice job. Center and a right guard again. Notice the right guard working to drive his hat across the chest of the defender. Overlapping the center. If you overlap your double teams, you won't get split. Nice job by the center. Tough step, lift. Nice job by the left guard on the reach block. Clear your hips through the play side gap. Center and the left guard. Tough step, lift. Center and the left guard again. The next part of the practice plan, we're going to move to pulling. We pull two different ways. We have a skip pull and we have a trap pull. I think the first one you're going to see come up here is going to be a skip pull. We use the skip pull to block a second level player. So it would be a guard pulling for a linebacker or a tackle pulling for a linebacker on some type of gut play, tackle trap play, whatever that might be, toss crack. Then here's how we do it. This is going to be a left tackle pulling to the left on some type of toss sweep. We're going to drive off our left foot, and we're going to pull our right foot behind our left foot. And we're going to get as much depth and width as we can from the line of scrimmage. So I'm going to let this go here for a second, and you're going to see it from this angle, and then you're going to see it from the side angle, so you really get a good idea of what we're looking for. But again, we're driving off the left foot. Notice the left foot driving into the ground, and notice the right foot pulling behind the left foot. The one thing you want to avoid with the younger players is having them pull their shoulders all the way back and throw their momentum going backwards. Pretty good job right there. Here we go to the right. Again, notice the drive off the right foot. Pull the left foot behind. Skip pull to the right. Here it is from a good angle right here. Notice he keeps his chest over his belt as he pulls his body back with his feet. This player here gets a little too much height and not enough depth and width, right? We don't, the up and down I don't want. I would like him to play as close to the ground as he can. So a little too much height on that pull. Here's a skip pull to the left, driving off the left foot. That's a nice job right here. Driving off, pull the right foot behind the left foot. Again, as much depth and width as you can get off the line of scrimmage. We use this kind of pull anytime we're pulling for a linebacker. This type of pull allows you to keep your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage the entire time you're pulling. I don't have any practice film of a trap pull. I do have a couple game clips here to show you. The key elements of the trap pull for us are to open our hips to the sideline, and if we're trapping to the right, we use our right shoulder. So what I tell them is pull right, pull left, trap left, and we would like to work on an angle back into the line of scrimmage. If we're going to adjust anywhere, we want to be adjusting into the backfield. We don't want to have to adjust into the line of scrimmage. That means we weren't tight enough on the pull. Here's our left guard executing a trap pull. Nice job of opening his hips to the sideline, working into the line of scrimmage, and again, pull right, trap right. So he's going to trap him with his right shoulder. And a nice job of moving his feet through contact. I got one more clip to show you of this. I think it's going to be the left guard again, pulling to the right. He'll end up trapping the 3 technique coming outside here. Again, pull right, trap right. And the guy kind of undercuts him here, but you get the idea. We want to be inside out, and if we're going to adjust anywhere, we're going to adjust back into the backfield. Good angle, inside out. The fullback fits inside, and we got a nice counter play. So again, I don't have any practice film to show you, but those are the key elements of the trap pull. And I think you could set that drill up the same way we set up the skip pull drill, and you can even put a defender out there in front for sure in either of those drills. that concludes really the run blocking portion of the practice plan. And now we're going to move into the pass protection. And the key in all these pass protection drills is to keep the lineman in what we call our body posture position. There's essentially 4 parts to that body position. Feet outside your hips, knees inside your ankles, knees over toes, chest out, butt out. That's the body posture that we're looking for. And this demeanor walk is a drill that we do to train our players to stay in that position as they move. So we've got the cones out there in front. We've got the guys on the right side in one line. We've got the guys on the left side in the other line. The centers are responsible to even the lines off. And we start going forward to the left and then back to the left, forward to the left, back to the left, finish going forward, jog it to the back. Okay, so that, again, the entire time we do the drill, we want to be in that body posture. Feet outside your hips, knees inside your ankles, knees over toes, chest out, butt out. The other key to this drill, and you'll see them coming back here to the right, is as they move to the right, they want to reach with the foot in the direction they're moving. So all these players should be reaching with their right foot, not pushing off their left foot. Reaching keeps your weight in the middle. Pushing off creates a swinging effect with your body, which gets alignment off balance. So anytime we have a pass protection emphasis, we start with this drill. Now, the second part of the drill, so we go up to the left all the way through the cones, then we come back up to the right all the way through the cones, and now we face forward, and we're going to go up and then flip our hips. So here we went up to the right, flip our hips to the left, flip our hips to the right, flip our hips to the left. Again, at any time in the drill, they should be able to stop their body with their feet outside their hips, their knees inside their ankles, their knees over their toes, with their chest out and their butt out. So here we go, up to the left this time. All these drills designed to make them move with correct body posture. You know, a good way to start practice, that drill is. It's also a good way to get a lot of guys moving at the same time. The next thing we want to teach them is how to power step. And by power step, we mean moving with your inside foot. So a left guard, left tackle moving their right foot, a right guard, right tackle moving their left foot to stop some type of inside charge by the defender. We do this drill right on a line because we cannot give up any ground to the inside in our pass sets. And the key to the power step, and you'll see this from 2 angles, is land the instep and drag the big toe. We don't want to drag the whole foot. We just want to drag the big toe because the whole foot slows us down too much. And they'll go to a point where and then in the middle there, and then I'll release them back the other way. Land the instep, drag the big toe. Land the instep, drag the big toe. We carry our hands a little bit lower at Rutgers than most schools. Here's another shot of the same drill. This will be a good one to teach off of right here. Nice job by Kevin here, number 78. Land the instep. Now, how do you know he landed the instep? You know that he landed his instep because his knee stayed inside of his ankle. No different than in the run game. All your power comes having your knees inside of your ankles and your knees over your toes. So land the instep, drag the big toe. Land the instep, drag the big toe. That's a good job by 78 right there. You could put a cone in the middle so they know where to stop, but I'd rather have their eyes on me and then I tell them to stop. Make them finish every drill by stopping. Make them stop their body. Pretty good job here by number 73. Land the instep, drag the big toe. Land the instep, drag the big toe. So that's how we teach our players to power step. We need to do that first so that we can get into our kick slide progression. And a kick slide is how you pass set on a defender who is outside of you. And here's how we teach it. The first thing we do to teach it is really a drill that I took from watching shot putters. So this is our shot put drill, and they're going to do it 5 times. And all I want them to do is to punch their knee forward and then kick back. Punch their knee forward and kick back. The key being, let the kick pull the slide. So you see them here, they're punching their outside foot back and they're sliding on their toe. Let the kick pull the slide. Other phrases that'll help you coach this movement: kick on the toe, slide on the toe. So we want to be sliding on our toe of our inside foot. Let me come back here before we do this drill. And if they're having problems sliding on their toe, tell them to flex their calf. That will force them to slide on their toe. Now, that was the first drill. That's the shot put part of the kick slide progression. The next drill is a stop-start drill. And all I'm telling the players here is go and stop. And they're just going to kick slide for whatever interval of time is between the go and the stop. So here's the first group up. Here we go. Go, stop. Go, stop. Go, stop. You'll notice they're on different levels. The set number 75 is a tackle. He's kicking on a more vertical angle. Now, I don't like the fact that he turned his shoulders. The gentleman inside of him is a left guard. He kicks on a flatter angle because he plays guard. Again, the commands are go and stop. It's just a stop-start drill so that they understand that they have to control their body. There comes the right side. You can get as many guys working in this drill as you have space. On the right side, again, stop-start drill. First one was the shot-put drill. This one's the stop-start. Now, here's the next part of the progression. Now we're going to take the kick slide and the power step, and we're going to put them together. And here is the drill. This is called kick slide brace, power step, power step. I'll say it one more time. Kick slide brace, power step, and then they have to stop their body. They're actually going to do it 3 times. Each time they're going to stop their body. Kick slide brace, power step, power step. Then I give them a command that starts them again. The coach is giving the command each time. Now, we're going to see this drill from another angle here in a second. Kick slide brace, power step, power step. This type of drill is an excellent drill for linemen because this is the real world. Having the ability to set to the outside and redirect inside is something you have to do almost every time you throw the ball. Okay, here's a ground level angle of the same drill. I'll bring that back one more time. They'll start with the kick slide. Kick, slide, brace, power step, power step. Notice every time they kick and slide, they should be on the toes. Every time they power step, they should be on the instep. So it's kick, slide, brace, power step, then they do it again. Kick, slide, brace, power step, power step. One more time. Kick, slide, brace, power step, power. Again, I start that drill every time. I want them to stop their body. Offensive linemen need to be taught how to start and stop their body. You start your body by reaching in the direction you're moving. You stop your body by landing your insteps. Okay, now, the last part of the kick slide progression is the same drill you just did, but now they do it 3 times in a row, and then they stop. You probably won't get to this until practice 4. This takes a little bit more time to teach this, to be able to do it correctly. Speed is not the goal of this drill, but sometimes as the players get more comfortable with the movements, they do speed up, and that's fine, as long as they don't, you never want to sacrifice technique for speed. So this one is the same drill you just watched without the stops in the middle. They do it 3 times, and they have to stop at the end. So I'll just let this one play. Kick, slide, brace, power step, power step. Kick, slide, brace, power step, power step. Kick, slide, brace, power step, power step. Same drill from a different angle. There we go. You can see the kind of depth and angles they get off that line right there. It's a nice job by those 2 guys up on the left. Pretty good job here by these guys on the right. Guys on the right are a little bit slower, but that's okay. Don't sacrifice technique for speed. We said earlier in the tape that every block has approach, contact, and follow-through. Pass protection is no different. The drills we've been doing so far have all been approach drills. These drills coming up here are follow-through drills. So we'll start with the spin drill. You're going to see this from 2 different angles. Here's one from behind. Starting position, feet outside your hips, knees inside your ankles, knees over toes, chest out, butt out. We've got our hands on the defender. The defender is starting sideways, which is fine. We need to punch whatever surface he gives us. And then as the defender spins, we want to machine gun our hands onto the defender, never losing contact with whatever surface the defender gives us. Your arms and hands should act like shock absorbers work in your car. Keep your hands on the defender. Nice job here by Jeremy. Give the defenders about a 5-yard square to work with. Good job here by Mike. Again, you see it from a different angle. This is a great drill to do with young pass protectors because it gets their feet moving and at the same time allows them to work in a mirror type atmosphere. The next drill you're going to teach is the rip drill. First one is spin, and then here comes the rip. When we're trying to defeat a rip move by a defender, whichever way the defender rips, in this case to our right, we want our near hand to the chest and our far hand to the hip, never crossing the midline of the defender. Pretty good job there by Ryan. Coming back the other way, near hand to the chest. Here we go. Let's start. We're going to do it again. Going to the right, near hand to the chest, far hand to the hip. Defender goes back, near hand to the chest, far hand to the hip. The near hand to the chest is critical to keep the defender from getting even with your hips. The far hand to the hip will flatten out his rush. Here we go again. Same drill from this different angle. Near hand to the chest, far hand to the hip. Going the other way, near hand to the chest, far hand to the hip. I can't stress enough. Good job by the defender simulating this, of backing up each time and restarting. Here we go. Near hand to the chest, far hand to the hip. Never cross the midline of the defender. Same drill, different angle. Nice job here by Howard. Near hand to the chest, far hand to the hip, feet through contact. The last drill here is combo drill, and the combo drill is a combination of the rip drill, the spin drill, and a little bit of push-pull. You won't get to this drill until the third practice. Here you see Jeremy's fit into his good body posture position, feet outside his hips, knees inside his ankles, knees over toes, chest out, butt out, and then you'll see the drill start here with a push and a pull in whatever direction. It'll go to a rip. Nice job countering the rip. Near hand to the chest, far hand to the hip. Here comes the spin, and then we just continue to rotate through the different moves in any order the defender wants. Here comes Mike, fit into his position. He's got his feet staggered because he's a left guard, left tackle. Here we go. There's the push-pull. Here comes a rip. There's a spin. Nice job. And you can keep this drill going for as long as you want. To keep the players moving, I suggest between 3 to 5 seconds, and then rotate them, let them get through it. Nice job here by Ryan. He's our center. Here comes a rip. There you go. Near hand to the chest, far hand to the hip. That was a good one right there. Okay, the last thing we're going to do here is put it all together. There's 3 types of sets we're going to talk about: a head-up set, an inside set, and an on-the-body set. The first one is a head-up set. If you're a left guard or left tackle like Mike is here, and you've got a head-up defender, we are going to move our outside foot first and then our inside foot. But the key coaching point to the head-up set is to punch the defender right now. The defender is not in a very good pass rushing alignment when he's head up. So you're either going to get a bull rush or a quick slant, and either way, by punching, you're going to help yourself. So you'll see Mike right here, left foot, right foot punch. And you'll see this from another angle. Pretty good job. Left foot, right foot, punch. And now you're ready to go wherever the defender goes. Here it is from a different angle. Again, good job getting the neutral zone. Left foot, right foot, punch. Pretty good. Head up set. Okay, the next set is an on-the-body set. By on-the-body, we mean the defender is shaded to the outside, but he's not off my body. He's not that wide. He's a tight defender. We set to this defender the same way we set to a defender who's head up. It's outside foot, inside foot, and we punch him right now. If a defender lines up on our body, we want to block him on the line of scrimmage. We don't want to get any depth and allow him to either bull rush us with a charge or slant inside of us because we've given him space between us and him. We want to block him right now on the line of scrimmage. Slight difference is the near hand should punch to the far number. So in this case, Pedro's left hand should punch to the outside number, and that'll help keep a defender from swimming you to the outside. Outside foot, inside foot, punch. We want to play on the line of scrimmage. That defender lines up on our body, we want to play on the line of scrimmage. The last set here is an inside set. And with an inside set, we're going to set with our inside foot first, just like the power step drill. Land the instep, drag the big toe. Nice job by Mike. Similar to the on-the-body set, the key is near hand, far number. So you'll see Mike's right hand work to the far number. We want to stop the defender's straight-ahead charge with our hip and defend any type of outside move with our body. You notice Mike's nose never crosses the midline of the defender. Nice job on the inside set. Here's an inside set to the left. Again, setting with our inside foot, a power step, land the instep, drag the big toe, near hand, far number. The left hand should be a little wider. Kind of went down the middle of them. It should go to the far number. Near hand, far number. One more time. Near hand, that's much better. Look at that. Near hand, far number. Land the instep, drag the big toe. The last thing I put on here, Coach Susan handled the ball security. As offensive linemen, the thing we work on the most is recovering a fumble. I put this little drill here on the end as a little bit of a bonus. The idea for us as we recover a fumble, this is how we start every training camp, either fall or spring, is for the linemen to trap the ball on the ground with their hands and then pull it into their body, covering the tips, closing their eyes. Nice job here. If you focus on the offensive lineman in the middle, see him extend the ball, trapping the ball with his hands onto the ground, and then pulling it in to that fetal position. It's a nice job. So again, I put this on here, a little bit of a bonus. We already have a ball security section, but this is what we do as offensive linemen. We do progress this drill to where we come out of a stance, take a couple steps, and then recover. But as a starting point, we do this drill right here so they understand the idea of trapping the ball on the ground so it doesn't squirt out. Best of luck to all the coaches with the HSPD program. It's been a pleasure to be a part of it for the last 2 years, and I look forward to being a part of it for a long time.